Hello, it's Webs here again with another Hearthstone deck video, and Nzothing can stop us with Hand Buff Nzoth Paladin. Now with that shitty joke out of the way, let's mulligans. You usually want to keep cards like Prismatic Jewel Kit in your opening hand so you can buff up all your other minions that you keep in your hand, such as the Righteous Protector or the Argent Squires. You never want to keep your Pack Mules in the opening hand, as you'll never get the effect off if you do. Red Scale Dragon Tamer is also another great card to keep in your opening hand, as it allows you to draw into your Circus Amalgams, which count both as a dragon and another tribe for your Nzoth combo turns. That being said, let's get into the games. Alright, time for game 1 against Mage. Going to just mulligan the first blade away. This opening hand actually isn't that bad. We have a turn 1 play and a turn 2 play. Hell, even if we wanted to, we could have a turn 3 and 4 play. Though it is Questline, so we don't want to flood the board too much. For reasons like this. Alright, a Prismatic Jewel Kit, which is great. Couldn't have drawn a better card this early in the game, since we have a handful of minions. And eventually they're going to have to pop our Divine Shield anyways. Nzoth isn't that great of a draw, but it is what it is. Just going to hero power, then play our taunt. Getting Overlord actually isn't bad, but in this matchup, we're probably never ever going to be able to trigger it. Playing the first blade to just get more minions out is probably the best decision we can do. Freezing 2 of our minions kind of sucks. The nice thing is we have enough cards in order to be able to actually do something. And Divine Shield kind of counteracts the counterplay that Mage can do to our minions. Like, sure, they can freeze our minions as much as they want, but as long as they have Divine Shield, they can't just use one resource in order to get rid of it. Freezing definitely is getting annoying, though. I think Questline Mage is becoming the new Questline Warlock, where I just hate playing against it. Actually, I've always hated playing against this more than Questline Warlock, because this always felt like it had a higher chance to just screw you over if you didn't kill them quick enough. But because of the way that Questline Warlock wins, people focus on that instead of this deck. It's kind of a shame that some of the questline rewards are just a one-time effect, such as the Rogue questline. There are other classes where it's a permanent effect, such as Mage. Actually, is Rogue the only... No, Rogue and Druid are the ones with the one-turn effects. So both of the classes can abuse their quest rewards as much as humanly possible, I guess. And I feel like I'm forgetting another quest. Technically Priest, but you automatically win when you get it, so Just gonna play the Bannerman, and then play our Overlord in order to kill the quest reward minion. I was kind of hoping that we would have buffed it up, but oh well. Our Nzoth is super buffed up. Might as well play it too. What are they going to do? Kill a huge Nzoth? Though this is kind of a misplay just because of the fact that I didn't realize the only tribal minion that I played was the Murloc. Whoops. So the Catacomb Guard is big enough where we can just, oh wait, never mind. We can just play the Battle Master and then win with perfect lethal. Alright, time for game 2 against Priest. Just gonna mulligan away the pack meal and gain a Righteous Protector, which is great. Gonna play the Jewel Kit. So their Questline, which shouldn't be too much of a shock. With the death of Shadow Priest because of the nerf to Mind Render, you don't really run into Shadow Priest that often. Deck is still perfectly fine, so I don't understand why people aren't really playing it. I don't think one card nerf is going to do that much to Shadow Priest. I kind of wish they would use more support from the Shadow Priest package instead of just Benedictus and maybe one or two other cards. So they play a Watch Post, which we can't actually deal with this turn, but it doesn't really matter if we don't have any spells in the deck. A Deep Runner Engineer. Interesting. I don't know why you would run that card, but interesting. Maybe they're hoping to generate another card that will fulfill a bonus or something. Actually, a board clear in the form of Explosive Sheep would make a lot of sense too. Attacking into the Watch Post and then killing the sheep with our Divine Shield minion allows us to buff up all our minions in our hand. Gonna play a Pack Meal and Red Scale. I actually wanted to do something with Deep Runner Engineer. I thought if I could make some weird, funky rogue deck using that and the Octobot, since there's a 30% chance you're going to get a third Octobot out of it. However, there's no real big payoff that you can do. I thought maybe like a Xylus deck would be cool. But you have no way to copy the minion that makes you deal double damage to minions. At least no consistent way. Though I guess you could play some type of big rogue deck by doing that. I don't know what the payoff would be, but you could. I'm assuming they're thinking about using a Soul Mirror here. Or a Hysteria, that works too. So if they don't heal, they can survive literally not till the next turn. But if they do heal, they can survive at least one more turn, since we have no direct damage in this deck. There's a Griffin that we can just play out. They're going to actually heal for quite a lot here. And then we'll use the Blade Master to clear, but we still have to do the same amount of damage next turn. But we should still be able to win this from here. Interesting. I wonder if they're actually playing the Fortune Teller or if it was actually generated off of a card. Oh, that would be generated off of the Deep Runner Engineers, wouldn't it? And we win the game. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss how well the deck did and why I built the deck the way I did. Overall, the deck actually performed pretty well. Though it is kind of boring for my taste, I do like a more interesting style of deck. I'm glad that HandBuff actually has made it into a functional deck after all these years of being supported here and there, and it never actually turning into something, especially with Divine Shield as its side gimmick in the deck, which is very much a paladin mechanic. With the deck being kind of boring is the reason why I decided to include the Nzoth package. I hadn't really seen anyone try to use Nzoth in a HandBuff list, especially because a lot of the room in HandBuff is actually packed with cards that you would just want to run. However, I figured there were some cards that I could easily cut without that being an issue, such as the Knights of Atonement and the 4-cost legendary that reduces holy spells cost by 1. Especially because most hand buff lists only run exactly 2 spells in the deck, which are draw power cards. And I decided that Red Scale Dragon Tamer would be a nice way to have some type of minion for Nzoth and also draw into a dragon. Speaking of which, I included the Circus Amalgams just because they were a dragon and another tribe. However, I could see the benefits of including a high cost dragon such as Alexstrasza or Ysera in order to generate resources or just have your 8 damage to face whenever you needed it or to heal up. However, I knew I was already running a good chunk of cards that were above the average cost for a lot of decks in the current meta, and I didn't want to overload the deck with even more, so I decided against it. And with that being said, the card that actually felt the worst in the deck was probably the Carousel Griffins, as you usually never triggered the corrupt sadly on the cards, but it was still a Divine Shield minion and a mech for Nzoth, so thus it was included in the deck, and the central reason why I decided to go with Nzoth over some other type of package. Since I did definitely try out packages such as Liberum or just a Holy Spell package or even Secrets. However, in the end, I decided that all of them were either A, too boring, or B, the packages were too big to include into a hand buff deck. I really want to revisit some type of Holy Spell Paladin deck in the future. I just haven't come up with a good way to do it yet. So overall, if you've been looking for a hand buff deck and you wanted some type of unique take, this actually isn't a bad choice. It actually wins quite a few games, and I don't think I consistently lost against any deck in particular. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because all of those really help the channel. And until next time, bye bye.